Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. We are here to do what is our final Q&A before the release of episode 20 on AMC Plus of The Walking Dead. We're also going to discuss a little bit of comic material for this one, and who do we think may or may not be the president of the Commonwealth. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead. We are here to do another Q&A video before the release of episode 20 of The Walking Dead Season 11, which is coming out this Sunday on AMC+. I hope you all enjoyed the videos throughout the week. I've been doing a lot of discussion topics leading up to this episode of The Walking Dead, and we did our variants review and a whole bunch of stuff. Even did a movie review yesterday for the film Nobody, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out as well too. And House of the Dragon episode 8, and yeah, we've done a whole bunch of content this week, so I hope you all have been enjoying it, but it's time for The Walking Dead this Sunday, and I cannot frickin' wait. So, first one for today, first Q&A comment to go through for today is from The Walking Dead universe promos and webisodes. Gee, I definitely got to check out your channel, because, yeah, if there's, like, a whole bunch of that stuff going on, I definitely should check out your channel. Anyway, they say, do you think that's, they kind of go into the final season. Do you think that Part C feels a lot more like the final season of The Walking Dead rather than Part 1 and Part 2? They feel like Part 1 and Part 2 of the final season did not feel like the end, whereas Part 3 is giving them those vibes a lot more. And they also go into, do you think that we will see the storyline from the comics where we see someone become the president of the Commonwealth and that whole kind of thing? So, and they do say comic spoilers for everybody as well too, and I will say as well too, this contains spoilers for the end of the comics, because we are going to discuss this a little bit. But at the end of the comics, obviously, we saw Rick Grimes get killed, which was very... I didn't like it. As you guys know, I don't like the end of the comics when it comes to that portion. But issue 193 I thought was a fantastic final issue of the comics. I thought it was a really, really good ending. The way they talk about Rick and what a legend he was, and like giving him the statue and stuff, that was all amazing. But Pamela was locked away in the comics. She didn't die. She was like locked away. And we did have... which I thought was pretty interesting. We had, like, Judge Michonne, if you guys remember this. Like, yeah, Judge Michonne here. And we had, like, Maggie, who also was, like, kind of in the position of power as well, too. So we had a lot of, like, interesting stuff. A lot of people in, you know, different kind of positions and stuff. And, like, there's Rick, who's, like, the statue in the town and stuff. But in the comics, we do have a president of the Commonwealth. Now, who is going to be the president of the Commonwealth in the TV show? Now, it obviously cannot be Daryl, it can't be Maggie, it can't be Negan, it can't be Carol, because they, you know, were supposed to leave for their spin-offs and etc., etc. So, I definitely don't think that'll be the case, but I do think that by the time the Commonwealth comes to an end, by the time that this final season wraps up, I think Mercer will be the one in charge of the Commonwealth. I think the theories about you can change this place and, oh, maybe I'm just being naive, maybe you're nothing, I think he will become something, and I think he will be the hero of the Commonwealth. He will be what saves the Commonwealth, and that's why we're focusing on Mercer, you know, kind of focused on doing his job so much. I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think he will end up helping our survivors, but I think he's ultimately going to become the hero of the Commonwealth, which should be good. That should be really, really good. But in terms of who would be the president of the Commonwealth, it's definitely not going to be Pamela. They're taking Pamela down a very dark route. I think Pamela could even die coming up here soon. So I'm thinking right now, at least, they're going to do it to one of our characters. I could see Yumiko, honestly, guys, becoming president, because they definitely have been focusing a lot on her lawyer role and, you know, how much she, you know, cares about this place and Tommy and her walking around in suits and stuff like that. Call me crazy, I think Yumiko may end up actually being one of, like, the big wigs, like, the big leaders inside of the Commonwealth. So, if I had to bet on one person that would become, like, the necessary, like, presidents of the Commonwealth, I think Yumiko might actually be that, to be honest, guys. I think they may go that route. They gotta start giving her more screen time, though, if that's the case, but that's the one I'm gonna, you know, guess right now. But it's definitely very different from the comics, right? Like, Carl's alive in the comics, Rick was around, he was killed, Mercer just kind of disappears out of thin air, basically, in the comics. And, we have a major 20-year time jump, which I guarantee we're not going to get in the show. And Ross Marquand even said, too, like, this, like, what we got in the comics is nothing like what we're getting in the show. Which, I mean, if we have, like, Lance as, like, a big villain and the CRM potentially coming in, then that's already a lot different. In a good way, though, I'd say. Like, I think that in a good way. Like, I think that's actually a good thing, because I actually do really want to see how the CRM will impact the final season. I want to see how the CRM kind of, wraps this up if they come in. And I think Lance as a villain, I think is a really good, like, final threat for The Walking Dead. So definitely not a bad thing whatsoever. Not a bad thing at all. So anyway, another one comes from Brian Akeem, who says that they think that the horse and buggy, they think that Lydia and Aaron and their crew were attacked in episode 20, and it's because Carol finds their stuff in the promo for episode 20. So Brian thinks that Aaron's group has gotten captured in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, that's definitely possible. I think they're fine. I think they're still out there, because there are clips in the trailers of them, kind of like hiding and stuff. So I don't necessarily think that they're going to be, captured necessarily, but definitely something is going to happen with that group. Like Aaron, Lydia, Elijah, and Jerry, one of them is dying. I don't know who is. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's got to happen. It's got to happen to one of them. I just can't really tell at this point who anymore, because I was kind of predicting Aaron and I was kind of predicting Jerry, but now I'm kind of like, oh, maybe Lydia dies, and oh, no, maybe now Elijah dies. Like, that group is very tricky. That group is very hard to tell right now who's going to die. And I do have some comments from people also saying, like, oh, maybe, like, none of them die. I'm like, man, they got to kill someone in this final season, man. Holy crap. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I think that group, definitely someone's going to die. Someone's going to get killed. It's just a matter of who at this point, I would say. And then we've got another one from Epic Zombie Killer, who says that, Q&A, Dan, how do you think Pamela will be now that her son is dead? Where do you think her character is going to go from here? So, yeah, very interesting question from Epic, and honestly, I would say right now, they're trying to turn Pamela into a kind of out-of-nowhere, all-of-a-sudden type of villain, and here's my concerns with that, right? I think Lance is a way better villain than Pamela could ever dream of being, to be honest. I feel like Lance needs to do more, and again, I'm going to say this now, and you know how I'm going to feel if they pull this crap this Sunday. If Carol or someone kills Lance in episode 20, I am going to be so beyond mad, it's not even funny. Literally, all Lance has been so far this season is someone sitting in a cell eating a darn candy apple. Like, we need to see Lance get out there and do stuff. If he just dies in episode 20, that is going to be so underwhelming, man. That is going to be so disappointing. So, hopefully that doesn't happen. If they kill Lance, have it be in episodes like 23, 22 at the earliest. Like, do not be killing Lance in episode 20 just to skyrocket us into this Pamela arc. Because, I'm sorry, it's no offense to the actress, Layla Robbins. I just don't like Pamela as the villain. I don't like it at all. I think it's very just weird. I think it doesn't really come across as that scary. Lance freaks me out. Lance really freaks me out. I think Lance is doing a good job, but Pamela is the main villain. It's just not cutting it for me. And the final one comes from Elle, who says that, do you notice in episode 19 and in 11C so far, there's a very major change in the budget? Like, for example, in episode 19, when Aaron and them go to that, like, location, you see a very, very good, like, zoom into it. Very, very high budget type of standards for Walking Dead. So I did notice that. Yeah, episode 19 cinematically was, like, really good, and I really wanted to kind of focus on that for a minute. Because, yeah, the shots they were doing in 19, when they zoom in and it, like, goes into the walls, and then you've got, like, the scene where they're fighting the variants, you got this, like, slow-mo, as Jerry's got, like, his sword, and you've got, like, Lydia, and she's, like, stabbing one, and it's, like, really slow-mo, and you got, like, Elijah with his weapons, and it's, like, it's very, very well done. It kind of reminded me of Evolution from The Walking Dead Season 9, where they were fighting the Whisperers and stuff. I mean, that was more intense, but this was still really, really well done. I think the budget, yeah, definitely. There's an improvement there somewhere, and, you know, I think it shows for sure in episode 19. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about all this stuff? Who do you think is going to be the president of the Commonwealth by the time The Walking Dead is over? My money's on Yumiko, and I think the main leader will be, you know, Mercer with his men and stuff like that, but I think Yumiko may actually be the one to lead the Commonwealth, just because a lot of these characters have spin-offs, right, guys? Like, a lot of these characters have spin-offs, a lot of these characters can't do it, so, yeah, that's what I would say ultimately in the end is what it's going to be. So, anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure to also follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for The Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
I've heard stories, walkers that can climb walls and open doors. I was never sure if they were just stories.